And another signing for the Packers, I believe this was today or yesterday. You know what? All the days are going together. It's March Madness. The Packers are in flames, so who cares what day it was? But Jarran Reed, I apologize if I mispronounced it, defensive lineman, signed him from Kansas City, free agent. Um, Reed started in all 17 games during the season with Kansas City. He had 43 combined tackles, 2.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 12 quarterback hits. In 3 postseason games, he had 13 tackles, 1 sack, 1 hit. And in 89 career games played, he has 237 combined tackles and 24.5 sacks. Luke, what do you think about this signing? This guy hopefully sliding in next to Kenny Clark this year.
So that's obviously the big thing, right? Is Kenny Clark may not have to face double teams and triple teams all game, because we all know what he can do in the run game, what he can do in the pass game from that nose tackle spot. And Kenny Clark's an interesting nose tackle because he's kind of a slimmer guy, but I think he's a wrestler growing up, so he can get those angles. That's just weird how football can work like that, right? Trevor, did you say I know me and Zach discussed this before, but was Jarran Reed, was he in trouble ever?
Yes, and that's a thing that I will go off of. Suspended for 6 games for the NFL for personal conduct policy. I'll go into that a little deeper after that, but yes,
Okay. Yeah, but it's a body, right? I feel like I say this every show. It's a body, but it's a body who can play. I mean, he's proved that. You just listed off all the stats there. If not else, he can fill a hole. Kind of that that Tyler Lancaster role, right? If you can't get anywhere, just fall down and you fill a hole. Jarran Reed's a good player. It'll help the defensive line a lot. It'll help the edge rushers a lot. I mean, this may free up Rashawn Gary to maybe finish more than half of his sacks this year. And it'll definitely help Preston Smith out. I'm sure he's the most happy about this.
for sure. And you look at the Packers when they won the Super Bowl when they had arguably outside of this year, the best defense they've had since, gosh, the '90s, right?
Yeah,
Since Reggie
gotta
White.
be.
They had BJ Raji plugging the hole, and they had guys like Cullen Jenkins doing it too.
Hmm.
And that's why they got their pressure, because when you're bringing linebackers and they don't have an extra guy for them, or they're going one-on-one, that's where it hits. And if this makes Kenny Clark's job easier, we saw what Kenny Clark did this year.
Hmm.
That's a heck of a sign, in my opinion.
Yep.
But going into his legal troubles, I saw a lot of people um, talking about it that didn't know what they were talking about. I have a criminal justice background, so I feel like out of anybody in Packers Twitter, I'm probably the most inclined to be able to talk about this academically, correctly, I should say. It was a 4th-degree assault charge, which is a misdemeanor. Obviously, people hear assault. I believe it was assault or battery. They kind of go hand in hand at that level, at that count. 4th degree. So he was detained by police. No charges were filed. No trial was brought up. But the NFL did suspend him for 6 games, and a lot of stink was brought up about this. I'm not saying it is by any means good. With an altercation with a significant other in the house, I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that misdemeanor, no charges were brought, and those are usually brought pretty often. So the fact that it wasn't brought, that would lend me to believe that it's not exactly a continued problem, especially seeing it was how many years ago and we haven't heard anything from him since.
Right.
So to anybody freaking out about it, this is not a Kareem Hunt situation. This is not a Ray Rice situation. This is very clearly, and again, I don't want this taken out of context, but this does seem to have been a he said, she said fact. Not that we're taking any sides in this, but understand that moving forward, that this is not a Ray Rice, Kareem Hunt character we are bringing into the locker room.
And I think I told you guys. Good monologue, by the way. That was good.
Thank you.
Um, um, Green Bay is not a place you're going to get in trouble. Trust me, I've been in every single inch of this city at night and times I shouldn't be. There's not a lot that goes on, other than Latroy Guion, who got busted for $200,000 in cash, 3 handguns, and 10 pounds of weed in his car. Um, you know, this is a good place. It's a good place for him. It seems like he wants to play hard nosed football. That's what you're going to get in Green Bay. I know it kind of feels like that the Lambeau Field in the cold whole home field advantage is not really a home field advantage anymore. But he's a guy who can probably play in the cold and match up with some guards and centers and drive him back a little bit. I'm very excited to see how he does. And Trevor, you know who else's benefits TJ Slayton. Now he has a little bit more time to learn how to breathe.
Absolutely. You can get the oxygen mask with them on the
Right.
field, maybe. Who knows? And, I might as well get ahead of it because I know people are going to start talking about this. Yes, he does have other run ins with the law if you count traffic tickets and moving violations. I mean, really, right? Just like, let's keep that in mind. It's moving violations. We
I think
almost all have them.
Yeah, I think I got no less than 50 parking tickets in my 5 years at UW Lacrosse.
Not that bad. And I think that leads to a question as to how you racked up 50. But
Okay,
that'll be for maybe a different
yeah.
podcast.
I mean, they don't mark the roads correctly.